Hi, and welcome to the next video about our African safari to Amboseli Park. And Amboseli is another amazing, tremendous spot in Kenya, well known for its huge resident elephant population as well as all kinds of other game. And you can kind of see in the distance there how dusty that road is. It's an amazing dichotomy of just dust and dirt on the roads and in certain areas, and also these lush swamps and green spots that are loaded with vegetation that the elephants, as you can see here, just love to chow down on. And there are elephants all over this park, eating and just behaving the way they're supposed to behave, and you can get really close to them, and it was a spectacular experience. And it was great to observe them in their family groups. Just almost all of the elephants were in large groups, including young. They share childcare duties, even though you may see a baby elephant. Sometimes it's with its mother, but other times it's with other elephants in the group who all take care of each other. We learned a lot about elephants during our visit to the Sheldrake Wildlife Trust, which we'll do in another video. But this, we've been following them for a while. But this was just some tremendous, beautiful scenery, and we were just astounded. Even though we had been to other places too, this was another one that just opened our eyes up. And you can see the dry areas, and right in front, here they are up to the bottom of their bodies eating that vegetation and going through quite a bit of it. And off in the distance, there are some wildebeest who are down from Tanzania for the as part of the Great Migration every year during the long Kenya dry season, which I guess it's drier in Tanzania, so they come down to Kenya, and you can see the elephants just plowing away at that stuff that's growing there in that swamp. Just peacefully eating away. And here is one of the resident lions who's not really making any effort to hide himself, but you can see how easily they blend in. Later, I got some pictures of him as he perked up a little bit just to take in his surroundings. You can see that the zebras and the other animals there, and yeah, that's exactly what he thought of us right there. And this can be just how close you get to the elephants in Amboseli. Yeah, that close. And that, what else can you say? We were maybe 10 feet away. And here he goes back across the road, sampling a little bit, and some friends coming in the opposite direction, including the baby. And that was a lot of fun to see the little one very close to what I'm assuming is mom, though maybe it's big sister or an auntie, looking a little shy. And he's going to have himself a little snack. And when they're that young, the elephants are still learning how to use their trunks. It's not something they're born with. They actually have to learn how to use them. They're really complicated organs with a lot of muscles, and it takes them a while to learn how to do that. And mom helped herself to a little handful of grass, and off they go to the next spot. And it was fun just to see this little guy dawdle. On his own schedule. But wasn't going to stray too far from mom. Now, this was really unusual. We got to see some hyenas playing in broad daylight, and I think the only reason we got to do that was because it was a very overcast, relatively cool day. And hyenas do not like the heat of the sun. They can actually die when it gets too hot. Later in Amboseli, it's not on the video, but we saw a couple of them actually when it got hot. They're just laying in a drainage. Looks like a drainage ditch. It was natural, of course. Just laying in the water. There was nothing wrong with them, but they overheat that easily. They generally move around at night, but because it was cool and these three were in a mood, they just wanted to play. And they are playful and they're fun, unless you happen to be one of the animals that they're trying to turn into a meal.
Yeah, they look very
their
playful.
cry, the hyena's cry, will bring other hyenas to the scene, which is usually how they can chase away other animals that may have made a kill. In a previous video in the Masai Mara, there were cheetahs who had gotten a warthog, and they kept looking up. They were really more concerned about lions, possibly, but mostly about hyenas, because hyenas would draw a large group in and would force the cheetahs away from their kill. But right now, these guys are doing their cute act, showing off a little bit. And our guide, George, was great in explaining how these animals interact with each other and what their normal habits are. It was very exciting to see them out and about and active like this during the daytime. Not something everybody gets to see, so that was really a lot of fun. And this guy looks playing with something like you'd see at the dog park somewhere. Off he goes.
Do they often, it's unusual for them to be out during the day or no? I see. Okay. We got very lucky.
Now here's one of the lakes that's inside the park, which abuts one of the highest points. Now, this is an alkaline lake, so I don't think this supports much life in terms of fish. And you can see here the path across it, which if this was rainy season probably would not be passable at all. Though it would be interesting to go back during rainy season and see when everything is fully green. The animals are a little more spread out, but it's also supposed to be a spectacular time to visit. And here's another swampy area. Those are some elephants off in the distance there, just to kind of give you a flavor of the vistas of the place. The camera doesn't really capture it. Maybe. And another elephant family. This is a big tusker here. Elephants grow different tusks to different sizes. They're not consistent. It's not always a measure of age, though in general, you know, big tuskers are old elephants. And here's a little guy with a mouthful of his breakfast. And here's a family group, always taking care of the little ones. And here are some friendly baboons, probably hoping that someone will throw them some food, which I was happy to see that nobody did that while we were watching. You know, it's just not good for the animals to associate humans with food. It can lead to conflict, and it's bad for them. So, though it was tempting. But these are definitely wild creatures, no matter how cute they are. You can have a problem if you don't listen to your guide, if you don't follow the rules of the park. This guy seemed as interested in us as we are in him. As we were in him. And it was fun just to be there, just to check him out. And here's a real close-up view of the elephants feeding in that wet, swampy ground. The grass is supposed to be very rich for them. It's one of the reasons why they congregate in Amboseli. And the birds will congregate around the elephants because they can often pick up insects or small whatever that are dislodged by the elephant going back and forth.
Thing just moved.
And here's a still shot of a real big tusker and his companion there. And if you like these videos, please click like. And thanks for watching.